Hello everybody, I'm Tim Blair, and it's time for the Clay County Times-Democrat Weekly Web Update for the week of June 12, 2013. Our webcast brought to you each week by Pickett State Bank, member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Well, this week we originate from the east side of Pickett at the historic Pickett Picnic Grounds, location of what this year will be the 86th annual Pickett 4th of July Picnic and Homecoming. Long-standing tradition here in Pickett to have the annual Independence Day celebration dating way back to the 30s. This actually being occupied since around the mid-30s at the picnic grounds here. This year, the Cemetery Association promises a new and improved annual celebration. They're bringing in a brand new concessionaire, brand new carnival rides. Johnson Rides and Concessions of El Dorado, Arkansas will be coming in. They promise better, bigger rides, more concessions. We also have a opportunity to hear from an up-and-coming Nashville singer-songwriter the night of the 4th, as a performance by Jamie Teachner on the main stage will be featured prior to the Miss Pickett pageant. That will be going on between 6 and 8 p.m. And of course, you have the usual things behind me, the kitchen, where they'll be serving the annual dinner, but this year a little bit different. Good folks from down at Pickett Diner, Kim and Kenny Woods, will be managing the kitchen this year, and not only will they have the good, great fried chicken they always have, but they'll also have the availability of catfish and chicken strips for those that want that. All the trimmings, that's going on back here. And matter of fact, if you're interested in volunteering for helping at the kitchen this year, get a hold of them at the Pickett Diner. But it's just one of the many things that'll be changing for this year's picnic, and they promise a good one. All we need is some good weather, and we should have a good event. All the proceeds, of course, benefiting the Pickett Cemetery Association. We'll be starting off with the parade at 9 o'clock that morning, coming down to the picnic grounds. We'll have at 8 o'clock that night the Miss Pickett contest, and you need to check that out. We have all the information in our print edition, as the age has changed on that, and the entry information is all available in the print edition of the Clay County Times-Democrat, both this past week and next week's edition. And of course, that evening we will have the entertainment by Jamie Teachner. Afterward, Patrick Patterson and the band will take us up to the fireworks at 10 o'clock. At 10:30, they'll have the drawings for the $5,000 cash prizes, and that's all coming up on the 4th of July. Actually, the evening before, Wednesday the 3rd, there are 3 pageants to kick things off down here. We'll have all the details and the preview coming up in the next print edition of the Clay County Times-Democrat. Now, this past week we had a lot of great things in the paper. We had all the details on the big Clay County Arts Council extravaganza at the Rector Community Center, where they honored Demetra Schultz for basically a lifetime of community support of the arts. We also have all the details there on the soon-to-open McDonald's here in Pickett. That's coming up on Tuesday, the opening of that. And have a ribbon cutting. The Chamber of Commerce will take care of that out there about noon, but the business will be opening this coming Tuesday. We have all the details in the print and online editions of this week's paper. A lot of great information. Pick up a copy of it today. And of course, we invite you to visit us online every chance that you get, and also visit our Facebook page. We had a lot of things going on around the community this past week, and we got to try to get the camera out a bit. One thing is that longtime Pickett Mohawk tennis coach Paul Seagraves had a junior tennis camp down at the Pickett Public tennis courts down by the swimming pool. That was going on this week, and we stopped by with our camera, and we'll show you a few highlights now.
Okay, everybody back in the circle. First in front of them. Unless they move the ball from the cornfield. Good job. Good job.
Seagraves, very successful at his time here in Pickett High School. In fact, they're coming off their first state championship, the 3A state championship in boys tennis, basically on Bo Wicker's singles title, and the other guys' good performance, especially the doubles team and Jet and Grubb. But again, that tennis camp was going on down there. We'll have all the details on the individual winners and honors and so forth coming up in the next edition, Clay County Times-Democrat, so be sure to pick up a copy of that on the 19th. We also had basketball team camp going on at Pickett High School gym, hosted by Coach Dave Reynolds and Coach Alan Rabjohn also on hand to help out. Sean Hearn, Coach Hearn also there to do some refereeing. We had teams, the Pickett, Rector, joined by Portageville, Clarkton, Dexter, and Delta C7 at the team camp. We stopped by with our camera during some of that action yesterday, and let's check that out. Always good to see a little bit of basketball, especially when it's such nice weather outside. We also had an interesting activity in the past week. Actually, we were part of an activity as a wagon train that originated June 8th in Bell City, Missouri, came through the area. They came down to St. Francis, spent Tuesday night at the park in St. Francis, the picnic grounds in St. Francis. They made their way through the hills over to Pollard the next morning. They had a water break at the Pollard picnic grounds, went over to New Hope, made their way back around through Cummins Chapel and back over to the Crockett Hill Road, as they were headed to Boydsville, to Sparks Farm, where they were going to be spending that night, Wednesday night. And our cameras caught up with them near the Crockett community as they made their turn away there. And let's take a look at some of the highlights of the wagon train. Arkansas? I'm sure of it. I don't know if you could tell, but it was terribly hot that day. That was when the temperature was climbing into the mid-90s, and those people were a lot hotter than it appeared. But to have been there, I can tell you exactly how warm it was out there, and noticeably cooler weather and drier weather we've been experiencing, and that is a welcome sight. And of course, we hope that also for the 4th of July picnic, which will be coming up here, and the other celebrations that will be coming up around the region. Again, we'd like to remind you to pick up the next copy of the Clay County Times-Democrat. We'll have all the details on the picnic, you have the details on the pageants, all the schedule and everything like that. Some of the information on Jamie Teachner will be performing that evening here at the picnic grounds, and other things that will be going on. That's all coming up in the next edition. We also have a preview of the bike tour that will be coming up toward the end of the month. They have a bike tour which will be coming through, originating in Sykeston. They'll be spending the night actually at the Hemingway Pfeiffer Museum and on the hill where the elementary school used to be. Some of them will be staying up there, some down at the Pickett Community Center. They also have activities going on at the Matilda and Carl Pfeiffer Museum that day as the bike tour will be coming through, and we have all the information on that coming up in the next edition. That and a lot more. In sports, we'd like to remind you that Mallory Wright, Lady Mohawk standout volleyball player, she'll be playing this coming Wednesday evening in the state all-star game at Conway. Gets underway at 7 p.m. Down there as she plays in the Coaches Association all-star game, and I wish the best of luck to her as she prepares to move on with her volleyball and collegiate career coming up in the fall. And also in sports, we'll have details on that basketball camp and the tennis camp that we're going on here as we get things kind of going on here, and also the baseball season starts to wind down for the younger kids. Well, with that, we wrap up another edition of the Clay County Times Democrat Weekly Web Update for the week of June 12, 2013. We encourage you to email your comments and suggestions, and we'll have an email address coming up for you at the end of the webcast. And until next time, for the good folks at Pickett State Bank and the Clay County Times Democrat, I'm Tim Blair. See you next week.